Phew, I got a call from my flatmate and I had to pick it up because it's almost 12 o'clock in the night. And she decided to step out because she was feeling adventurous. And now I have to make sure she comes back home and sleeps at home alive and that she's not dead. I mean, the thing is, she does that for me all the time, like all the time. So it's not it's not even like I can complain about it. It's just something I gotta do. I gotta do. But anyway, I was talking about my dad, and I was trying to praise him for how amazing he turned out to be, because from where he was born in, like the place where he was born in, which is a small village in a really kind of used to be a backward state of the country, Uttar Pradesh. He was born there, and he was brought up with these regressive, misogynistic views towards the world, where people actually believed that the izzat of their family, the respect of their family, resided in their daughter's vagina somehow. So, if their daughters went out and had boyfriends or slept with people or were raped against their consent, either ways, with or without their consent, that it was gonna bring shame to the family. And there's nothing worse you can do in UP. You cannot bring shame to your family. It's a privilege. It's an absolute privilege that you were born in your family. You didn't even fucking deserve it. You were privileged enough, you were lucky enough to be born in your family. And the last thing you can think about is bringing shame to the same family who not alone, sorry, bringing shame to the same family who not just let you live as a part of their family, but also educated you and gave you food whenever you asked for it. You understand the gravity of the situation here. He was under so much debt from the society. He had taken so many things from the society, like being born in a certain family and expectations from that said family, where you were supposed to bring joy and happiness to your parents, even if that meant bringing unhappiness to your own self and to your own life. But that's the kind of values he was raised with. And he has always kept the needs of the people he loves ahead of his own needs. So at any time, for example, even me, including me, every time he felt like he had to choose between his needs and my needs, or his needs and the needs of someone in our family he absolutely loves, he always chose their needs. He was fine giving up on his needs, on his wants, on his desires. If he wanted a new pair of shoes, he actually thought about it 5 times before he got it for himself. But if it were about me or my grandfather or anyone in our family, he never thought twice. He was just there with whatever little he was earning at the time. It's not like he was extremely rich and had all the riches in the world to take care of whatever his family demanded. It's just that he was trying to be a good son, a good brother, a good dad. I'm not going to say husband for some really tricky reasons, and I'm not even going to go there, so fuck off. But I was talking about how my dad comes from this really humble beginning as the son of a farmer, as someone who has his own farms even today, as someone who has always been very down to earth and extremely kind of misogynistic. how he changed his entire thought process. Maybe he changed it, maybe he's pretending to change it just so we can stay close enough. But whatever he's doing it for me, because I know him and I know he I know he would never support feminism if it weren't for me. He would never support women staying out of their houses, away from their families, on their own autonomy, deciding for themselves, being financially independent, and taking care of their own lives. He would not really support that, but because his own daughter is being that, he decided to change his mind. And these are very fundamental changes. These are not very uh, performative, surface level changes. It's very fundamental change. It's a change in who he is, in who he identifies himself to be. And maybe he doesn't even know it and he doesn't even recognize it, but I don't think he has recognized this fact that there has been this fundamental shift in him. And honestly, I'm gonna toot my own horn, and I'm gonna say that I think he did it for me. I think my dad loves me so much that he changed his entire thought process at the age of 55 just for me. And this is thought process that he would have died for. He would have killed for, he would have died for. But for that man to stand with me today, to always have my back, where the situation is such, I just want to share the contrast in the situations that happened here. Like 5 years ago, if things went wrong in my life, even a minor inconvenience in my life, my first reaction was, my dad cannot know about this. There's no way in hell that my dad gets to know about it. No. And 5 years later, thanks to everything my dad has done for me and out of love for me, today, if things go even minutely wrong, my first thought is, oh my god, I'm so anxious. I need to talk to my dad. Can you believe it? Like, is it safe to say that we're friends right now? And I know that he doesn't consider me a friend as much, so it's not like he shares his emotions and his thoughts with me that frequently, but I know that he's given me that kind of comfort where i can just I can just tell him what's on my mind. I can just say that I'm feeling a little anxious. I can call him, and I have done that. I can call him at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the night, and he's sleepy as fuck. Of course, he's sleepy. He sleeps at like 6 o'clock in the evening, but he's so sleepy, and he still picks up my phone. And I'm on the other side of the phone, a little anxious and crying a little bit, and I don't even tell him what's going on. It's not like I call him and tell him that, hey dad, this fucking man fucking disappointed me again. No, I just call him and I'm like, hey dad, I'm not feeling that good. I'm feeling really uneasy right now, and I don't know what to do. And he's just there. That man, so sleepy, but he's there. He's talking me out of it. He's like, okay, take a deep breath, take another deep breath. Think about all the good things in your life. Think about everything you've done and blah, 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 blah. And suddenly, I don't even remember what I was worrying about, because I have this man in my life who, till the day he's breathing, he's got air in his lungs, he's gonna be there for me. He's gonna do illegal stuff for me. He's gonna do everything for me. Like, it's a privilege. It's genuinely a privilege to have someone like that in my life for this duration, and I don't think I've ever expressed this to him. And honestly, I don't think if I ever will. I don't think I'll ever actively go out and say it to him how much he means to me, because he thinks this is all filmy and dramatic, and like real emotions don't work this way. Real emotions are quieter, where you don't talk about them, you just express them through your actions. And that's what he's always believed in, and that's what we've always witnessed also. This is how he has expressed his love. He's never come up to us and said, I love you so much out loud. He just did things for us that translated to, I love you so much, I love you more than my life. So, whatever anger I had within my heart as I was growing up, and you know how teenage brains are, like girls, when they hit puberty and when they are going through that hormonal change, they don't realize it, but neither do their dads. For my dad, I'm not going to talk about anybody else, but for my dad, I was the first child. So I was the first time he actually experienced what it is to be a dad. I was his first dad experience, and you can't expect perfection on the very first try. It's not fair to expect that from anybody. But look at where I am today. I feel like wherever I am mentally at this point, where I'm a little fucked in my brain, where I'm always overthinking and over analyzing stuff. But if you keep all of that aside, I think where I am today in my life, where I earn for myself, I live by myself, I take care of two cats who I completely adore, and I want to give them the best of everything myself. I'm doing all of that myself, and my dad is, I think, happy to see me be that kind of self-sufficient. But where I am today, I don't think it would be possible without this one guy in my life who made me feel like I was the most special human being ever to live on this planet. Like, when I woke up in the morning, the only thing I could think about was, oh my god, I have this guy who happens to be my dad, who is so in love with me and who wants to see me soar so high that he's willing to bet his entire savings and everything on just me. I I don't want to get into the details of it all, but there was this one time I was traveling in car with my dad and two of his friends, and my dad had to, I think, go and buy something off somewhere on the road. So he stopped the car, he got down, and he went to the shop to get something. And during that 2 minutes of space that I had with my dad's friends, one of them, he's sitting on the front seat of the car. He looks back and he's like, so, what are you planning to do in your life? And I was in 11th standard, I think, at the time. And I was like, yeah, I want to be an engineer, I guess. And then, if possible, if I can, I would want to crack IIT JEE, but if I don't, I'm gonna figure it out, something something. And he goes, no, you should crack IIT JEE because your dad has really high hopes from you. And in my head, I was like, yeah, of course. Everybody around me just wants me to do good in my life. Like, excuse me, that's not even fair. But yeah, in my head, I went like, yeah, sure. And then he goes, you have no idea how much he loves you. I don't think you ever will. He'll never tell it to you. He's never been that person that talks about how much he loves someone. but he really, really loves you, and you're his entire life. You're his entire reason for waking up in the morning. And by that time, my dad comes back, opens the door, sits inside, and then we never speak again for the rest of the 2 hour journey. And in that moment, I didn't actually realize how precious that moment was. And honestly, today when I think about it, there's a possibility that the uncle who said that to me, my dad's friend, he was probably a little drunk. There's a possibility now that I think about it. But in that moment, it felt like just an everyday moment. But today, when I think about it, it's probably the most precious memories of my life growing up. Like, if there's a small sandook of memories that I can carry with myself, if I ever met with an accident where I lost my entire memory, and if there were just like 5 memories I could carry that would survive that, I think this would be one of those memories where my dad's friend out of nowhere, like it's not like me and my dad are having some conversation around something or some argument or discussion. Nope, we're not even talking about anything, we're just chilling, minding our own business. And the first chance my dad's friend gets to pitch him to me as my dad, he takes full advantage of it, and I'm like, yeah, that's cute. And then, okay, so this is like one of those top 5 memories. The second memory, and this also I will never ever forget, and there's a reason that this song remains close to my heart no matter how old I get. So there was this one time I was traveling via car from one city to another. It was around 3 hours journey at that time. Right now it takes like 1.5 hours because of the amazing infrastructure. But 20 years from now, 20 years ago from today, it took around 3 hours. And my dad is driving the car. It's a small Maruti 800. It's his first car, it's my first car, and it's white color Maruti 800, and he's driving me from city A to city B. And it's been almost like 40-45 minutes or something. We've been driving, like he's been driving and I've been sitting on the front seat, on the passenger seat, like a passenger princess. And he's been playing his songs on the radio, just doing his own stuff. I think he had like a cassette player, so he also had like 6-7 cassettes in his car that he was playing as per his mood. Now these were all like really old songs, so, and I was like 12. Of course I did not like songs like old songs. I liked new age amazing pop culture cool songs that my friends were liking. I did not like Muhammad Rafi or Lata Mangeshkar at that time. So I was just like, yeah, whatever. Dad is playing his own songs. I'll just have to look out the window and pretend like this is not happening. But that's that's what was happening. I was just looking outside the window, minding my own business, and my dad had been playing his own songs back to back. I think he was expecting me to participate in them, but I didn't really like them, so I was just looking outside the window. I was like, yeah, not cool. I will never ever associate with this, and I just didn't care about the songs playing. And then this one song comes, and my dad pauses the song, and he looks at me and he's like, "ये गाना तुम्हारे लिए. This song is for you." And then he plays the song, and it's that song, "हम तुम्हें चाहते हैं ऐसे मरने वाला कोई जिंदगी चाहता हो जैसे हम तुम्हें चाहते हैं ऐसे." And dude, have you heard these lines? It says, "I love you so much like a dying man loves life." It's it's so pure, it's so beyond romantic relationships. It applies to so many relationships in our lives. I think I think this is the topmost, most beautiful moment of my life till date, where my dad dedicated this song to me, and the song literally means, I love you so much. Nobody can ever compare. I love you more than a dying man loves his life. So that happened. I know this is like a full on fan episode of my dad where I'm just going gaga about him, singing sagas about him. But I truly feel that he deserves this kind of tribute. He deserves it. And I think every dad who has kept their ego and misogyny aside just because they love their daughters a little too much, and they came on the other side where things are better, lives are freer, we have more freedom, we can breathe better. They decided to come to this side on their own because they loved their daughters so much. And I think I'm grateful that so many dads exist, and I'm grateful that one of those dads is mine. Okay, good night.